How are you guys doing today? Today's video is a video about something that I posted on Facebook and Instagram yesterday, and I got some questions about it. Now, if you don't know me personally, then you probably don't know this about me. Well, you know what? No, because a lot of people do know this, especially on Facebook. But okay, anyways. For people who don't really know me, I have a 9-year-old. He'll be 10 in November. My 9-year-old was diagnosed with cancer. And I posted yesterday this letter that we received from St. Jude, because he was a St. Jude kid. And just how it made me happy. And so people had questions about it. And so I decided I would do a quick little video while I'm sitting in carpool. You know how I am with carpool. While I was sitting in carpool about it. My son, at 23 months, it was October, he was diagnosed. His birthday was in November. So right before he turned 2, he was diagnosed with Wilms tumor, which is a form of kidney cancer. He had a first cousin on his dad's side who had the exact same cancer on the exact same kidney. So they have to wonder if it's a hereditary gene / trait / whatever from the father's side. But in order for them to do the testing, they would have to have one more child. And by the grace of God, there's been no more kids other than those two. My son and his cousin who had it. One a boy, one a girl. Okay, so diagnosed. Okay, how we found out. We found out because my son started TTing blood. We were trying to do the whole potty train thing at that point. Yeah, we were trying to do the whole potty train thing at that point. And he was peeing blood. The first time we saw it, it looked like maybe an old diaper. But, you know, I was immaculate. We didn't leave diapers on him too terribly long. Because, like I said, we were trying to do the potty train thing. But it looked like old pee. That's what it looked like. So the first time that I actually saw it, I didn't know what I actually saw. The next morning, I worked. He was with my mom. And they saw it. They were getting ready to go to church on a Sunday. They saw it. Okay. Called the doctor. You know. I ended up leaving work that day. Took him to the ER. This is my side. Like, that was a whole... I don't even visit that hospital anymore because of the sheer stupidness that I received that day. He pretty much wrote a word down on a piece of paper. It was glomerulonephritis, which is pretty much inflammation of your kidney and that kind of thing. He wrote the word on the piece of paper, handed it to me, and told me that is what he thought my son had. Now, my biggest issue is I need people to realize that general ER, because I work in a hospital, ER is excuse me for a second. Okay, I want to make sure this stop. ER is a general medicine. They just know general knowledge, okay? Like I say, I work in the hospital, I work in the medical field, but you know general knowledge. So I would much prefer for you to come and tell me you really don't know what is causing this, then write a piece of word on paper and say, you think that's what my child has. Now, I was young at the time. I was 19, I think. So, yeah, I was 19. But I would much prefer for you as a doctor to tell me you really don't know and you're going to send me to a specialist. Or to just put us in the hospital and let somebody else figure it out. Then to write on a piece of paper and then make me go on my never mind. I don't appreciate it. It was very rude. And like I said, I haven't been back to that hospital since. Anyways, I'm lying because he's had surgery there, but that's another story. So that was the Sunday. Monday, I took him to daycare. I let the people at daycare know because I had to go to work. I let the people at daycare know what was going on. But of course, I get a call that I need to come pick him up later on in the day, a few hours later. And it was like he was bleeding more. Now, when I left work, I didn't know if he was actually bleeding more or if it was just they didn't know what it was before. It was more. He was bleeding like a woman on her menstrual cycle. So, I went to the daycare, picked him up. No, that's not right. My mother went to the daycare and picked him up. Or his father. One of them went. And then they went to the doctor together. He had a doctor's appointment. So they went to the doctor with him. I left work and met them there. The doctor put my son in the hospital, but only because my almost 2-year-old had high blood pressure. So he was putting my son in the hospital for the high blood pressure. My son's dad told the doctor about the medical history. They did some tests, found the tumor. Okay. That was on a Tuesday. They found it. Wednesday, we were flown to St. Jude. Friday, he had major surgery. He had the whole right kidney, right kidney. He had, right kidney removed and the lymph nodes and everything around it. It was diagnosed as a stage 4 cancer. He underwent chemo, he underwent radiation, he did the whole thing. Standing in prayer, he is now fine. He's 10 years old, he's 5'3". If you looked up, you could never tell he went through anything. He's fine. Last year in 2011, we had another small scare. They found a tumor in his bladder. It came back benign. Where the first tumor came back malignant, which means it was cancerous. The second tumor came back benign, which means it wasn't cancerous. And that's all it was. They found the tumor, they took it out. They did the path report on it, which means they sent it off to someone to look at it and diagnose it and see whether or not it was cancerous. Came back negative. He's fine. We still go to St. Jude. Now we're on an every year schedule. We have to go every year. And he will go every year until he is 18. At 18, then they will release him. So we got a few more years of this. We go in November of every year. That is my story. That's my son's story, and that's his testimony. My son is very knowledgeable about his medical care. He knows. He can sit here and have a discussion with you about what happened, what went on, which kidney was removed. He can tell you all that. He even can tell you about the bladder tumor. He knows it all. Because I didn't ever want him to be in a place with relatives or whatever, and I'm not there, and for whatever reason he has to go to the doctor and he can't answer. So he's very detailed. He knows. He's also very aware of medical. But that is our story. That is what happened. This will be my little moment, for a second. We went to St. Jude. Scared, didn't know. We pretty much had the clothes on our back, and my family and my son's dad's family had pretty much brought us like a couple of other change of clothes, and that's what we went to St. Jude on. Went to St. Jude, stayed there for a few months, and to say that the place St. Jude is a blessing is an understatement. It's beyond a blessing. It is one of the best things on this earth. We had insurance. My son's insurance chose not to pay because they said we went out of network. Now, we went where the doctors told us to go. But we went out of network, so they didn't pay. I have yet, 6 years later? 7 years later? Seen a medical bill. Never seen one. So, didn't have to pay for anything. When we come down there, like even now, we'll come down there and they will reimburse us. They will fly me and Caleb down there if we want to, but usually I drive. It's a 5.5 hour drive from Louisiana, from where I live, to Memphis. It's 5.5 hour drive. We can do it. My car could probably drive it on its own now. We'll drive down. They will reimburse us for gas or fly us down. They will do that. They place us in a hotel, and it's a hotel, but it's not a hotel. It's Memphis Grizzlies, which is on the property, which is their hotel. But you pretty much live there. We lived there for the first 3 weeks, and then we moved to what they call the Ronald McDonald House. And the Ronald McDonald House, the way I can describe it, is more like a dormitory. You have so many kitchens, and then you have a room that you live in, and everybody helps and contributes. And then you have the Target House, which is for people who's going to be there a little bit longer. We were this close to going to the Target House, that close, but we didn't need to. Target House is for people who are going to be there longer than like 3 months. If you're there longer than 3 months, then you go to the Target House. If you're going to be there longer than 2 weeks, you go to the... Yeah, we were there for 3 weeks. If you're going to be there for longer than 2 weeks, you go to the Ronald McDonald House. They gave us food cards, food vouchers, so we could go and buy food, and we're able to feed ourselves. We could cook, and they provided us. They have every holiday at St. Jude is a big deal. Like, I don't celebrate Halloween. It's not my holiday. But every holiday is a big deal. Everything is a big deal there. St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, Valentine's Day. If it's a holiday, is there. We met some amazing family. We met a family from Italy. We met a family from Mexico, and we still keep in touch with them to this day. Excellent place. Okay, that was my little throw St. Jude in the mix. I love them to death. I mean, my son is even excited when we go every year. So we're big St. Jude supporters. And you don't really realize, like, I heard my son's dad and his family talk about what St. Jude did for my son's cousin, but you never understand until you're in that situation. And I pray nobody's ever have to be in that situation, but if by any chance your child or a child you know is diagnosed, they find out about going to St. Jude, I'm telling you, they will take care of you. They'll make you feel comfortable. Everybody knows our name. We only go once a year, and the people in our clinic, the people we worked with, see us and still know our name. Like, they'll ask, how's Caleb doing? How are you doing? They still know us. So it's really an awesome place. And Memphis has become a second home. Like, I know my way around Memphis pretty darn well now. Okay, so this was just my little video because people had questions about all of that. So I wanted to discuss it and let you guys know what happened, my story, and all of that. And I figured carpool sitting here doing nothing was a good enough time as any, other than the fact that I think a couple people might be looking at me crazy because I'm talking to myself. But hey, that'll be alright. Maybe they think I'm on the phone. That's what we're gonna go with. I'm on the phone. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. If you have any comments, questions, or anything, put them in the comment section and I will get back to you guys. I'll let you know. You can inbox me. If you know somebody who's going through something, I talk to people all the time. You know, it's easier to talk to somebody going through when you've been through it. So if you have somebody that needs to be talked to or that needs a support group, let me know. I know plenty of support groups. I know plenty of people, and we can get you on the right track. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace and peace. Have a great day. Bye.